Okay, so it's a mixed ability class today, so I'm going to be really taking you through like some beginner stuff, and a couple of the exercises are quite advanced. So just obviously stick at the level that's right for you, and I'll describe what you should be feeling at each level of the exercise, just to ensure that you are happy that you are doing the right level for you. And as always, just make sure that you're feeling okay, your backs are okay, your shoulders are okay, your necks are okay. So let's bring our feet all the way together into the middle of our mats. We're going to turn our toes out like Charlie Chaplin, and then wherever the balls of our feet lie, turn those heels out into that alignment as well. Just look down at your feet, double check those toes are in line with each other, and float the inner arches of your feet up. So we've got a nice strong foot. Now just spread the toes, lift the toes and spread them as far as you can, and press the little toe down. Then try to press the fourth toe, third toe, second, and then press the ball of that big toe in as well. And let's keep equal pressure through both of those feet and through the heel. Tense the thigh muscles, then release them off. You should feel your kneecaps just kind of relax a little bit. Do that one more time. So tense the thigh muscles as hard as you can, pushing the knees to the back of the room, and then just relax the knees off. Good, fantastic. Bring the hands onto the hips, couple of forward and backwards tilts. So you're literally going for a little forward tilt, lifting the tailbone in the air, and a backwards tilt, tucking that tailbone under. So just rolling forward and backwards through your tilts, just really almost warming up very much the lower back, kind of lubricating some of those discs and joints in the lower back, and also to help you find that halfway point. So find kind of the halfway point between your forward and your backwards tilt. That's going to be the neutral we're going to work on all the way through this class. Set the centre at the front, so that 30% contraction quite low. Squeeze the sit bones together at the back, again just like 30 to 50%, and you should feel like you've got a really strong pelvic area now. Just rest the arms down by your sides, breathe in, shrug the shoulders up to your ears, and breathe out to rest them back. One more of those, breathing in to shrug, breathing out to release. Float the hands up to shoulder height. Turn the palms to face each other and float the arms out to that kind of nice 45-degree angle, bring them back in to shoulder height. Breathe out to take the hands open and breathe in to close them down. Keep on going with that breath pattern, please. So breathing out to open, breathing in to close. And what I'd love you to do is every time you breathe out, you're just tucking the rib cage down. So imagine you're gliding the rib cage down towards your pubic bone. So you keep going with that movement, keep it lovely and fluid, but you're just trying to exaggerate that as you breathe out, you tuck the rib cage in just a little bit, and it just connects that abdominal front panel a little bit clearer. The next time you bring your hands up, let's float the heels up as well. And as you lower the hands, lower those heels down as well. So breathing out, lift the heels, breathing in, lower the heels. Now quickly check that centre. Quickly check you've got that nice bum cheek squeeze, still that another 30% connection still going. And just be really strong. Make it lovely and smooth. Equal pressure through both of those feet now, guys. Equal pressure through both of those toes. Let's go for the last one and just hold that position. Take the feet out just half a toe wider and half a heel wider. Spread those toes again and then sink into a nice little knee bend. And then squeeze the bottom as you rise. Breathing out on the way down, breathing in on the way up. Breathing out. So real nice and simple, just lift and lower to begin with. Lowering those ears, the shoulders away from the ears. So we really want to get those shoulder blades melted down your spine. Push the weight back onto the heels as you sit down and lift to 50-50 as you stand. Breathing out and breathing in. Let's go for a little balance. So stay at the bottom of the next one. Float the heels up. Stand yourself up gently and slowly. Really own that top balance. And then lower, let's let the heels down in between. Relax those shoulders. So sink into your knee bend. Float the heels. Stand yourselves up. Lower the heels, lower the hands. Let's go for 4 more of those. Lift the heels. Now you don't have to go the same pace as me. So I really want you to be really in charge of that balance. At the top especially, stay there for a split second before you lower. Just really be aware of that balance, that centering through here, that bum cheek squeeze at the back. Do the last one of that 4. Come to the top, rest yourselves down. Bring your hands onto your hips and turn the heels out and the toes out. One more round. Look down at your toes, so we should have a little quarter turn of your toes, floating the arches of your feet up again, and just soften through both of those knees. Roll the shoulders back and down, lengthen through the back of the head, and just bring that chin in towards your chest slightly, giving yourself that quarter chin, really strengthening up through that top panel. Just rock all the way to cross onto one side. We're still very, very straight, yeah? Limit that lean as much as you can. Pressing through the heel of the bent knee, pointing the toe of the straight leg. Just start doing some very gentle toe taps, and stuff we've done before. Little toe taps, nice and gently. Really make sure you've got a nice soft knee of the leg you're standing on. And try to make your hips level. So that's why your hands are there. Try to make it so you're not kind of tipping and lifting each time. You're really concentrating and isolating the movement just at that lower leg. Okay, fantastic. Hold it there. We're going to flex the ankle of that straight leg and turn that toe and the knee up towards the ceiling. And we're now going to do heel tap. So just dropping the heel and lifting. Heel tap and lift. So again, nice and simple. Limit the movement through the rest of the body and just go for a couple more of those. Breathing in and breathing out really naturally. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Back of the neck long. Just get that little extra workload in that back pocket of your bum cheek. Rest the foot down and just stand up in the middle. Double check the feet are nice and square again. Soften through the knees. Hands on hips, keeping it level. Rock the weight across to the other side. Pointing out that other leg. Start for some gentle toe taps. So I'm just warming up that side panel of the hip with some of these side leg lifts. Relaxing the shoulders down. Let the breath be really natural at this point, okay guys? Set the center. Let's just quickly work on that pelvic floor as well whilst we're here. Just thinking about lifting those pelvic floor muscles up just towards your belly button. Okay, just kind of halfway, nothing too strenuous, something you can hold for the rest of the exercise. Fantastic, hold it there, flex the ankle, turn the knee up to the ceiling, and then start working on those heel lifts and drops instead. So again, the body hasn't moved, we're still bending the knee that we're standing on, it's still nice and soft through here, but we're just changing the dynamic of that hip, working the outer portion of your hip a little bit more by turning that knee and that foot up to the ceiling. Keep the breath natural, point the toe and drop yourself down and walk those feet all the way back in again. Come to a lovely narrow start, so challenge the balance on our roll downs. So I'm going to go side on to show you. We're going to drop the chin down to the chest, roll the shoulders forward and start sinking through that vertebrae one at a time all the way to the floor. Looking at the knees at the bottom, breathe in at the bottom here, and as you breathe out, start to stand up but keep curved. So tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your bum, and restack each vertebrae one at a time. Shoulders come back second to last, head comes up last. Take a breath in, 2 more of those. Breathing out on the way down. Beautiful curve all the way to the floor. Breathe in at the bottom, hold that beautiful stretch. Breathe out to stand up. Squeeze the bum as you come up. Really pulling up through one vertebra at a time. Head comes up, the very last thing. 1 more breath in. Breathe out on the way down. Let's go. That's fantastic, guys. Breathe in at the bottom. Make it slow. As you breathe out, you're still doing it quite slowly because you want to restack one little bit at a time. Shoulders, then head. Good. Turn the toes out. Turn the heels out. Do 1 shoulder roll. Turn and drop into that side. Hold there for a split second. Just enjoy that kind of side stretch that you're working with here. And then flop. Stroke both hands down the outside of the leg. Swing to the middle. And then roll up in that lovely straight line as before. Squeeze the bum, shoulders, then head. The other shoulder roll. Glide into that side stretch. Stop there. Enjoy that stretch through here just for a split second. Good. Fold. Straight on the outside of the leg. Swing to the middle. And roll up in that straight line. Shoulders, then head. 2 more. A little quicker now. Shoulder roll. Side lean. Straight into the stroke, roll. Breathe in, hold the stretch. Breathe out, roll up. Shoulder roll. side lean, fold forward, swing to the middle, hold for the breath in, breathe out on the way up. Fantastic. Float the hands wide over the head, interlace the fins and drop them behind the head. We're going to shrug the shoulders up to the ears and release them down. 2 more times. Breathing into shrug, breathing into release. Breathing into shrug, breathing into release. Take the hands up to the ceiling. One shoulder, shrug it up to your ear, drop it down. The other shoulder, shrug it up to the ear, drop it down. Keep on alternating arms. We're going to keep the elbows soft but straight. Don't try and be tempted to take the movement too far. Really try to isolate. Think about those shoulder blades right on your back. Picture your shoulder blade. Glide that shoulder blade up the rib cage and then glide it down the rib cage. Let's go for a few more of those. Hold that center in at the front. Squeeze those sit bones together at your bum. Really press equally through both of those heels. Both shoulders now. Shrug up as you breathe in. Release those shoulders as you breathe out. One more of those. Breathing out. Now turn the palms away from each other and stretch behind you as you do this last beautiful circle. Bring your hands onto your hips. Just turn and look over one shoulder. And then turn and look over the other. Drop the chin down to the chest. Sweep the chin along the collarbone and look up to the other side. 4 more. Breathing out. Breathing in to look up. Breathing in to look up. Pull those shoulders back and down. Do 2 more. So just the head moving, but you've got a big pull back with those shoulders. Look over that shoulder and then just turn your head back to the front. Fantastic. Rest yourself off. Rest those legs off. Okay, go to the edge of the mat, facing lengthways. Okay. Roll ourselves down onto 4-point kneel, please. So set that center, squeeze the bum cheeks as you breathe in. And then relax, really be floppy. Don't touch those legs. Let the hands dangle in front of you. Drop the hands and knees to the floor. And then walk yourself forward to a 4-point kneel. Okay, so we're going to do some planks now, guys. You know, really old school, okay? Old school core work. However, some of you may have shoulders or elbows that don't like that full plank. So what I'm going to get you guys to do is you are going to go for some swimming level 4, alternating arms and alternating legs. The rest of you, where your hand is, put your elbow there and stretch one leg out behind you. Now in this position, let's lift the chest up to the ceiling, lengthen through the back of the neck and really set the center, having as much of your foot on the floor as possible. Once you've got a beautiful abdominal connection, let's stretch out the second leg and then just gently drop your bottom a couple of inches, tucking your pelvis under to a backwards tilt. Now what I'm going to get you to do is keep going for a few little breaths here. Let's go for 3. Breathing in and breathing out. All you're trying to do is lift the chest as high as you can take it, keeping the back of the neck as long as comfortable, and keeping that center beautifully engaged. Keeping that backwards tilt in if you can. And once you finish that third exhale, drop one knee down at a time. If you're on a 4-point kneel, everybody just sit back and rest into a shell stretch. Now, if you've got yourself some loop bands, please get them now, whichever version you're doing. Now, so remember, we're going to keep on kind of progressing this plank now, but at any point you need to lower it down, go back to the 4-point kneel option. Now, everybody's going to pop this band around both of those feet and just below the knees. Okay, just below the knees, and then come back into the 4-point kneel position. Now again, if you're doing the swimming, it's the same thing, lifting and stretching. It might kind of bunch up behind the knee, but that's actually fine, okay? Just as long as you're working with a little bit of different resistance. Those of you in a plank, let's go back down. Elbows where your hands were. We're going to tuck both toes under this time. Lift and just gently walk the feet back, because that will stop the band from going too far. Drop the bottom and lift the chest. So this time, if you want to, you can simply take your feet a bit wider, which will pull on that band. Alternatively, we're going to go for a little leg lift and lower. A little leg lift and lower. So I'd like you to go for 8. Doing 4.0, just go for 6 extensions, arms and legs. But either way, guys, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And every time you exhale, just draw that center in, draw that belly button up to the spine, and keep the chest lifted. Keep the bottom low in your planks. Drop to your knees. Walk your hands back, quick child pose stretch. Fantastic, okay. Rest yourselves there for a minute. Good, looks good. Take your time and really rest yourself. Reset the band if you need to. Reset the band if you need to. And then we're going to go back and do one last thing in this plank position. So again, from 4.0, just keep on working through that resistance. And remember, if the arms don't want to move as well, you can just keep them down. You can even just work on your forearms. The rest of you, back up to 4.0. We're going to work you quite hard on this one, so take your time. So drop down on the elbows, walk those legs out, drop the bottom, lift the chest. Now we're going to do a hip drop. So you need to take your bottom to one side and drop it towards the floor, not all the way, halfway. Bring it back into the middle. You're going to drop your bottom towards the other side and bring it back into the middle. Fantastic. We're going to breathe out to drop and breathe in to lift. Breathe out to drop and breathe in to lift. I'm going to keep on going with that movement, but your aim is to keep your bottom low in between. It's really easy to start kind of creeping up into this kind of downward dog position, so keep yourself nice and low. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's go for 2 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Getting that nice rotation through the hips, and then drop yourself down again. Walk yourself back and give yourself a little rest off. Then keep the band where it is, and then everybody's going to go onto our tummies for some breaststroke preps. So what we'd like you to do is we're going to get you to have a small block band, cushion, whatever it is, underneath your forehead. And we're going to have our arms long by our sides. Okay, so breaststroke preparation, we're going to go straight into level 2. So in this lovely long position with palms facing the ceiling, just roll into your backwards tilt, squeezing those sit bones together and engage the centre through the front, lifting the belly button away from the mat. And what we're going to do on our next breath out is lift the shoulders, float the hands up, turning the palms towards our thighs, and float our breastbone off the floor just a few inches. We're still looking down at the mat, keeping the back of the neck in line, beautifully long. And then just going to return it, hands back to the ceiling, shoulders relaxed in between. So you breathe out to lift the chest, turn the hands, and breathe in to lower. So we're going to start nice and small, breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. And let's keep on going through that gentle movement just for a few repetitions. And your real aim, guys, is to keep your lower back still. So work into that backwards tilt and bum cheek squeeze of the pelvis just to help support the lower back. And your focus is to keep the upper back moving. So you want to really arch the upper back. Keep looking down at the floor and keep that chin tucked in beautifully. Let's go for 1 more of those, fantastic, and then just rest yourselves down. Now incorporating the band into making it a little bit harder, we're going for single leg lifts. So take the legs just wide enough that you can feel the tension on the band. So it might be a little bit wider than normal, but that's fine. Go into your backwards tilt. And then the next time you lift up into that breaststroke prep level 2, one leg is also going to float up off the floor. Straight knee, and we're still keeping no tension through that lower back. And then we lower it down in between. So you're breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. And really gently, you're going to keep on going, again through that movement. Trying to focus your attention on the upper back moving and your lower back doing nothing. That's really important as you move through these progressions. That if your lower back starts to feel sore, you stop. and you either rest, you can sit yourself back into a quick child pose just to open that back up, or just drop down a level, okay? But it's really important that it's actually your bum cheeks and your upper back muscles that are doing this movement, and it's not the lower back that's doing this movement. Now do one more of those on the original side and just rest, completely rest yourself down in that start position. I'd like to try to take it one step further, if I may. What we're going to do is going to be two different things you can progress. We're going to do either a double leg lift and or you're not going to put your chest down all the way in between. So a bit more glutes or a bit more endurance on the back. Let's go for a demonstration. Arms along by our sides. If you're not there, just have a little relax. Backwards tilt, set the center. As we breathe out, both legs are going to lift as the chest and the arms lift. And then what we're going to do, we either go all the way to the floor or halfway down before you lift again. So the movement will be really small. It'll be very controlled because we're only moving halfway and it's already a relatively small movement. So let's try to work on a few of those guys. You can go double legs, or you can keep it a single leg and still do the upper body, a bit more of an endurance workout. Or you can do none of them and just go back to just a simple chest lift and lower with no legs working either. Now try to point your toes, but flex the ankles if you feel crampy. As long as you're still doing this straight leg lift, that's fine. Now guys, for the last three, try to make it a thigh lift. Really work on getting those thighs off the floor. And after that last one, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, squeeze the elbows together as you push yourself up and have a well-deserved stretch. Fantastic, guys, well done. Really, really nice. Okay, we're going to keep the band. We're going to keep the band around our legs for the first exercise of our side lying series. Let's roll ourselves onto our sides. I'd like to wiggle the band down around to your ankles now. And they'll be baggy for a minute, that's fine. Pop your block, your ball, whatever is comfortable underneath your outstretched arm and in between your ear. So it could be a pillow, cushion, towel, whatever it is, we're going to keep the head, the neck, and the rest of the spine in line. Okay? Straighten out both of those legs. Bring your hand in front of you to support, and then float that top leg up. So now we've got tension through the band, which is around your ankles. Doesn't matter if you haven't got a band, you can still do the same exercise here. Now, whilst we're in this start position, quickly check, set the center. Touch your rib cage, guys. Is it sticking out? If it is, tuck it in. You also want to get from kind of breastbone to pubic bone, really flat, really soft. Squeeze the bum cheeks together ever so slightly. Now, even holding this here should already start to be fatiguing in that bottom. Lengthen that top leg down and away and start working on 10 mini lifts. 10 and down, 9 and down, 8. So it's really small range, okay? But what I'm trying to get you to do is work a bit into endurance in those side pocket muscles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it there. We're going to pulse for 10 now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can rest. Good, fantastic. Unhook the band from around your feet. You shouldn't need to move too much to do that. Try to wiggle it off. We're going to bend the bottom knee now. We're going to bend the bottom knee. Let the top leg rest out for a second. We can go for some side kicks. Again, I'm going to take you through a few levels. I'm going to go from level 2 all the way to level 5. We'll skip a couple in the middle. So again, just stick at the level that's right for you. So side kick level 2. Float that top leg up just to hip height. Bring your top hand onto your top hip. When you use this hand to make sure we're not moving anywhere above. Torso is going to stay beautifully strong as you sweep that leg forward. Stop when the back starts to move. Flex the ankle. Draw that leg back in line. Point the toe again. Pointy toe forward. Flex the ankle back. Now, preferably, we'll do a breath in to sweep forward. and a breath out to sweep back. But honestly, let's just make sure the breath is kind of strong. You're doing it and you're not kind of compromising that rib cage position. Let's go for gentle breaths, nice and smooth. And can we do this just a simple side kick, level 2, but whilst keeping everything in line? Because it's really easy to kind of belly dance, yeah? As the leg swings forward, you want to drop back. As the leg goes back, your chest wants to drop forward. So really work on it being an isolated leg movement. Let's go for one more of those and then rest ourselves down. Hand in front of us now, please, guys. Straighten out both legs. I'm going to skip you guys up to level 4. Okay, skipping up to level 4, because now I'm going to take both feet, squeeze those inner thighs together, and take both legs up to the ceiling. So the bottom thigh is just hovered off the floor. Now you need your hands in front of you for this one as you bring the top leg up just a couple more inches. Same leg movement now. So you sweep the leg forward, flex the ankle as you drive it back. But this time the only difference is that bottom leg is also floated. So it's really challenging the balance. The leg movement will probably be smaller than level 2, and that's absolutely fine. Don't pressurize that. And obviously at any time that you need to, just drop that bottom leg down. But let's try to keep that bottom leg up. Use the hand, pull that top shoulder back and down. Let's do one more. And then just lower both those legs down. Bend the knees up and just give that kind of top area a little pat, just with the heel of your hand. Just move some of that lactic acid away. Okay, grab a drink if you need one now. So I'm going to set you up into level 5. Now again, at any point you don't want to, you just lower your upper body back down to the floor again. Okay, no pressure. It's quite a lot on your shoulder. So if you've got a sore shoulder, don't do this one. Okay, stay with your arm down the floor and do the same leg movement. The rest of you, get the block cushion, whatever, out of the way, and bring the elbow up underneath the shoulder, but just out a little bit. Put the hand out, kind of like a 2 o'clock position, and then straighten both legs down and away. And the first big movement we can do here for safety is think about the underneath the rib side and bring that up. It's almost like someone's yanking you up to the ceiling and stay there. So really try to get strong shoulder position, top hand on top hip, float the top leg up, same exercise, side kick, without moving your torso, flexing it forward, dropping the heel on the way back. So pointy toe forward, flexy heel back. If you need to, put the hand in front of you, but obviously we really want to start to make it torso is doing a lot of work here, just to stabilize you. At any point that you need to, straighten to that head down position. Keep on going. Let's go for 2 more. Forward and back with the breath, stabilizing the torso, no rolling. Last one, rest all the way down. Pillow back under your head, arm out in front, bend both of those knees. Well done, guys. Now we've done a little bit of work in that torso now. Let's mobilize it. Let's give it a little bit of a rest off. Let's go for a quick set of arm openers, just level 1. So crocodile hands out in front of you. Flex those ankles, those knees, and just nice and rested on top of each other. Drop that top hip down and away. Really reach that hip down towards your toes. Look at your top thumb, please. And as you start to float that hand up to the ceiling, you're going to follow the thumb with your eyes, and your breastbone is going to try to turn all the way back behind you. We're going to breathe in to bring it back to the front again. So real simple movement here, guys. Just a nice little arm opener, but I want you to do a little extra now. Your breastbone goes up to the ceiling. We're going to think about the top hip. Rotate and push that top hip forward. Release the hip as you come back. So we're really exaggerating this beautiful spine twist. Breathe in to come back. Imagine that spine is like a barbershop pole, old school, red and white stripes. Twist. Really get that breastbone up to the ceiling and really push that breastbone forward. Last one. Breathing out and breathing in. And just rest yourselves off there for a second. Let your head rest, your shoulders, hips. Bring your hand in front of you and just gently push yourself up. Fantastic. Sweep the legs around. Have your ball, your cushion, your block available to you, and then get that band and pop it back around your ankles. Let's burn out your bum on the other side. So again, your legs will be back dangling for a minute. That's fine. Put your head down. Okay, underarm outstretched. Block on. Looks good. Take your time getting there, please, guys. Straighten out both of those legs and then lift that top leg up. Just so you've got tension on the band. Again, take that time. If you need to move the band around, just do so. But don't fling your body around in order to do so. Okay, hand in front, top shoulder, back and down. Lengthen that top leg. I really want it to look like and feel like your top leg is longer than your bottom leg. Set the center, soften the rib cage, and we're going to go for a lift and lower without taking tension off. 9 and down. 8 and down. 7, 6, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Ready for our pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Set the center. 2, 1, and ease off gently. Fantastic, guys. Well done. Bend the knees. Get rid of your band. Don't need it. Don't need it anymore. And rest that top hip down. Okay, so we're going to go for our side kicks now. Level 2, level 4, level 5. As and how you feel most comfortable. Straighten out that top leg. Try to do at least level 2 with the top hand on the top hip, pulling that top shoulder away from that ear. Float the top leg up just to hip height, pointy toe. Set the center, tuck the ribs in if you know you're a notorious rib flarer, and then sweep the leg forward, flex the ankle and drive it back. Fantastic. So keep on, guys. This is a beautiful movement, really gentle. It's a lovely, lovely workout for your tummy. It doesn't feel like it should be, but if you can maintain a really still torso, it's a really hard workout for those abdominal muscles. And not only that, it works the bum as well. So it's a lovely kind of all-rounder, but just actually got a nice simple movement. Keep the top shoulder relaxed. Definitely keep your head and neck relaxed. And to start off with, keep the breath natural. Breathing in to roll forward, breathing in to drive the heel back if you want to. If you want to. Set the center. Last one, lift the pelvic floor. Let's double check that's nice and safe. Drop that leg down. Fantastic. Hand in front of you. Straighten out both legs. So again, if you want to, you can stick with that bottom leg on the floor. However, most of you, let's squeeze the inner thighs together and take both legs up now. Fantastic. Squeeze sit bones together as you take the top leg just a little bit higher. Hand definitely in front, but don't put too much pressure through that hand. As you sweep forward, flex the ankle and sweep back. So let's keep on going again with that movement. Now the bottom leg is up. You've lost loads of your stability there. So you've got to really make sure that tummy's working extra hard. Now keep on going with the movement and just check. In your fingertips, you want to make sure that you've got a gentle amount. If you're really crushing into the floor with your hands, just do half the movement, half range. It's still working you quite hard. There's no point in making it a completely hand stabilizing movement. Your fingertips aren't going to enjoy that. Let's go for one more of those. Level 4 side kick before we bring the legs together and rest them down. Fantastic. Give the knees a little quick bend. Get the block away. Push yourself up gently if you're going to take it up to a level 5. So tuck the elbow underneath the shoulder and turn the palm out again, just about a kind of a 2 o'clock or a 10 o'clock in this position as I am. Lift that top rib cage up as you slide the legs beautifully straight. Ensure that you've still got as high a rib cage towards the ceiling as you possibly can muster. Okay, try to bring the top hand onto the top hip as you take that top leg up. Same movement. Side kick forward, drive the heel on the way back, flexing the ankle. And again, we're just trying to do this movement, keeping complete control of our torso. If you do it too fast, you'll swing through the upper body. If you do it too far, you'll swing through the upper body. So you've got to be really in control of this movement. Fantastic. Really press down into that elbow, guys. Really get some beautiful connection with the elbow to the floor and help by lifting the rib cage as high as it will go. Let's go for 2 more. Keeping the hips stacked perfectly on top of each other. Lovely connection and rest. Fantastic, guys. Bend the knees, lower yourself, underarm outstretched, head on your pillow or your ball. And again, just give yourself a little well-deserved pat out. And this is just moving the lactic acid. It just works all out of that area. Okay, crocodile hands now. Let's go for 1 quick round of an arm openers level 1. Lengthen through that top hip. So really stretch that top side down and then lift and look towards the ceiling. My ball's falling out, sorry, and roll back on the breath in. So breath out to open, breath in to close. Breath out to open, breath in to close. Fantastic. Just keep on going with that real nice simple movement. Your aim though is to get that little bit more twist. So as the chest goes up, the hip pushes forward. So it's just a gentle movement. Don't go too crazy, but you're just exaggerating that spinal twist. That lovely twist through the back. So almost imagine your torso is a tea towel. You've got to wring out to kind of really get this twisting through that middle point. Last one, breathing out and breathing in. And just rest there for a sec. Fantastic. Roll yourself onto your back. And let's have the ball or block or cushion underneath your back just to begin with. Fantastic. Okay. So nice and long arms. Pull the shoulders back and down. We're going to do a 1-leg stretch, level 3. We're going to modify it, just make it a little bit more interesting. Okay. So we're going to do 1 leg worth of work in a double leg tabletop. So let's start by making sure we're comfortable with that movement. Hands on hips, tilt forward, tilt backwards. Just a nice gentle tips of that pelvis. Make sure you're feeling very centered. Your feet are equally distributed through those legs. Find the halfway position. Soften the rib cage down to the floor and lift the pelvic floor up to the belly button. So you're really strong through this torso. Bring 1 leg up into single leg tabletop. Now bring the second leg up without moving that torso. That's really your indicator whether you're right for this double leg tabletop or not. We're going to work on 1 leg. So at any point, drop that leg down to stabilize if you need to. Okay? We're going to go to 1 leg, stretch it out 45 degrees, bring it back. Same leg, breathing out to stretch, breathing in to come back. 3, 2, 1. Same leg to the floor. 5 and in. 4 and in. Now keep the lower back exactly as it started. If you feel your lower back obviously tensing or rocking around, put the other leg down to stabilize, not a problem. 5, keep it long. Long leg up to the ceiling, flex the ankle, drop it down. Point the toe. 4 and down. Breathing in and breathing out. 2, breathing in and breathing out. 1 and bend the knee and 1 leg down at a time. Good. Now work 1 leg, stabilize with the other side. Lower back, nothing should be feeling in there. Really make sure that all that tension is happening from the front and you're working to stabilize through those abdominals. Let's go again. Single leg tabletop, hold. Soften the rib cage down to the floor. Find your neutral, second leg comes up. Put the other leg down if you need to as we go for our 15 repetitions on the other side. 45 degrees and back. Good. Last one, at 45 degrees. The next one to the floor, just before the heel touches. 4 and in. Good, good. 3 and in. Stabilize. Pull the shoulders back and down. Head completely relaxed. Keep the leg there. Pointed toe up. Flex the ankle. Drop it down. 5 and down. 4 and down. 3, good. 2, good. 1 and bend and hug both knees into the chest. And keep them there, don't swing them. Your arms pull in, but your legs and your back are really relaxed. Good, well-deserved little rest there. Take those knees wider. Let the hips just ease out, nice and relaxed. And now just a little rock up and down. Just making sure the lower back's just lifting up each time. Just giving it a little bit of massage almost, and then straighten both legs. And then just stretch behind you just gently. Okay, so our next exercise is going to really isolate here in our tummy. We're going to do an ab prep. Now, you're going to use the ball to expand that range of motion if you're comfortable. So, bring both knees back in. Just roll onto your side gently to lift yourself up to a half seat. Now, the ball is going to take you into more extension. And try it out. Put the ball underneath your bra strap or where you're a heart rate monitor. And then lower the weight down onto your ball. Bring the heels in close to your bottom, really stabilise through these feet, and bring the hands behind your head, interlaced fingers. Now normally, and if you want to, take the ball away and do the same movement just on the floor. Keep the chin into the chest, back of the neck long, elbows up just into your peripheral vision. And all we're going to do here, guys, we're going to roll ourselves up, curling, bringing the rib cage down towards our pubic bone, but don't drop the lower back in towards the floor. Keep the lower back beautifully neutral. And then roll ourselves back. Now, normally if we're on the floor, obviously, your head stops where the floor is, but now we can take that breastbone further and start taking it behind us, but keep the chin into the chest. The rib cage will really lift up to the ceiling. Now, those ribs which are poking up, drive them down towards your toes as you curl up for the next repetition. So it's a rib cage movement now, guys. So really think about how far can I get my ribs to move. Breathing in and breathing out to come up. Now, see, if you breathe in to roll back, you can really expand those rib cages, which means you can get more ab work as you sit up. Now really give that breath out some welly. Breathe in, expand the rib cage, you come back, and then really try to get as much air out as you can. If you can, it tightens your abdominals up without even trying. So giving yourselves a really strong exhale, just a really good effort for this torso. Let's go for 3 more. Really opening through the back. So it's abdominal, but I really want to get some beautiful range in that spine. Keep the chin into the chest. We don't want to look behind us, just look to the ceiling. Last one, and then drop the elbows into the floor. Push yourself up. Take that ball away and lower yourself down. Fantastic. Okay, keep the ball available. We need it next, but we're not going to use it just yet. Slide your heels into your bottom, arms long by our sides. Quick set of shoulder bridge now. So roll into your backwards tilt. So it's your backwards tilt, pushing your lower back into the floor. Squeeze your bum cheeks, and then start to peel the vertebrae up off the floor one at a time, lengthening, getting those knees as far away from the nose as you can, and just hold at the top, keeping the rib cage soft. And we're going to reverse it. One vertebrae down at a time. That's really important. Push the lower back into the floor. Then relax your bum cheek muscle squeeze, and then just roll the pelvis back to neutral. So where you started. And let's exaggerate, backwards tilt. Then the bum cheek squeeze, peel the vertebrae up, lengthen those knees down away from the nose. You get a nice stretch through the front of your thighs if you do that. Hold for the breath in at the top and breathe out on the way down. One more of those. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out to lift up, one vertebrae at a time. Breathe in to hold the top, shoulders relaxed. and breathe out to lower. Fantastic. Okay, good. Float one leg up into a single leg tabletop. Same movement. Backwards tilt, bum cheek squeeze, peel up off the floor one vertebra at a time. Hold at top for a breath in. Gently lower down. And only roll that pelvis back to neutral at the bottom. 2 more. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to hold. Good. Breathing out to lower. 1 vertebrae at a time. Last one. We're going to really still try to lift through the left and the right side of the back equally. Equal pressure, left shoulder and right shoulder as you roll down. Hold. Just reset. Leg down, other leg up. Nothing should have moved in the torso, really. Hands to support you. 3 of these. Breathe out, lift, peel off the floor, hold, breath in. Gently release on the way down. Really make sure you've got a lovely center engaged. You can work the pelvic floor if you want to. Last one, move through the breath out. Hold for the breath in. Keep the shoulders pulled back. Neck's got to be relaxed. And then put that foot back down again. Fantastic. Bring the ball back underneath your head. Let's start our cool down with a lovely spinal mobilizer. So bring the feet together and the knees together. Take the hand just outside your mat, just wider than your mat. Put your palms into the floor. Now we can let both knees now. Both knees are going to roll to one side. You're going to lift from this hip so the knees don't slide. Then you're going to turn your head to the opposite direction. And then gently bring it back up to the middle. So a hip twist level 2. Roll both knees to the opposite direction and turn the head again. Breathe in to look to the ceiling. Breathe out to roll it to the side. Breathe in, back to the middle. Breathe out to the other side. Fantastic. Let's go for a couple more of those. Breathing in and breathing out. Just know what? On the breath pattern, just do what feels most comfortable for you, actually. This is a real cool down starter. We're going to twist through the torso. So it's not a leg movement per se, it's actually a torso. We twist through that spine. Now, as you roll the knees, just make sure the opposite shoulder completely stays down and relaxed. Okay, if you start lifting up shoulders, you're twisting your neck. And we definitely don't want to be doing this on our neck. So turn the head to the opposite direction that your knees are going, but keeping both shoulders down. Let's go for one more. Breathing out, breathing in. Come back to the center and just rest off here. Fantastic, guys. Bring those heels in towards your bottom again. One knee tucks in and just straighten the other leg out. Fantastic, guys. Well done. Now just rest here for a second. And then the straight leg, just turn the leg outwards just a little bit. So the knee's pointing away from you. And then that top knee, turn that out as well. So you're turning the knees away from each other. So about a round. Opening up through this pubic bone. Nice little stretch into those kind of like adductors. So your inner thigh muscle attachments to the pubic bone area. Just breath in, breath out. Really simple. And then both knees back up to the ceiling. Hug the other knee in. And stretch the other leg out. Again, just relax into that straight stretch to begin with. Turn the straight leg knee outwards and then turn the bent knee leg outwards. Still looking up at the ceiling and just resting the shoulders, but finding a stretch through the front of that pubic bone as much as you can. Bring the knee in and hug both legs in. Put one foot down on the floor and just cross the other leg over. For a very well-deserved glute stretch. Hold the ankle and the knee and pull into the body. Now, some of you might want to use the other leg. That's absolutely fine. But I think with the hands, you've got a bit more scope to kind of wiggle and twist around. Now, guys, just work around that angle and find the best stretch for you. When you found it, 2 more breaths, just really gentle, slow, in and out, until you get like a lovely, lovely stretch. Yeah, little face change, it kind of hurts a little bit. and ease off, unfold, fantastic. And let's go to the other side. Let the knee rest. Good, hug it in. Fantastic, just roll it to the side, good. Find the best stretch for you. 3 breaths now, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. One more. Really deserve it, really put it in. Good, and then just tabletop that leg, hands behind your thighs. Let's let the knee go over the hip. Point the toe as you straighten it up to the ceiling. Relax the shoulders, relax the head. You can take the pillow away from under the head, which just feels quite comfortable. If you can get your leg perfectly straight, then you can do a little thigh pull into the chest as well. But don't force that one, because it just becomes a bad stretch then. Work more on keeping the legs straight. Breathing in and breathing out. And rest that leg down. Good. Okay, tabletop, hands behind the other thigh, rest the neck, pointy toe to the ceiling. Pull that thigh in if you can keep your leg perfectly straight. Keep the toe pointed. Flexed ankle just kind of increases the stretch on your nerve. We don't really want to increase the stretch through the nerves at this point. Even though it feels better, and some people might say that to you, just ignore them. Okay, keep the toe pointed. Last stretch here. Rest yourselves down. Okay, roll yourself onto your side, push yourselves up, come to a seated position. I'm going to go side on to show you. We're going to do one little spine stretch here before we stand up towards our finish. Good. Okay, make sure you've got equal pressure through both those bum cheeks. Give yourself a wiggle. Sit on a block if you need to. Take your arms outstretched in front of you, palms facing, palms interlinked, and palms facing away. Okay, 2 little stretches here. You're going to drop the chin to the chest and stretch the shoulder blades forward. So we're rounding the upper back, but we're not moving the lower back. We're not changing the pressure in our sit bones. And then we just sit ourselves up, kind of restacking the vertebrae, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in to stretch forward. Breathe out to hold. Breathe in to restack. Breathe out to relax. Breathe in to stretch. Breathe out to hold. Breathe in to restack. Breathe out to relax. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. And up. Now this time we're going to take it further. Stretch forward. Reach forward, right from the lower back. Hands to the floor. Now can we bring our chest forward without lifting our bum cheeks off the floor? So don't worry about how far you can reach the hands forward. Let's work on belly button and breastbone towards the floor. Breathing in, breathing out, get lower. Now straighten the elbows. Engage the center. Don't move the torso as you reach the hands back up again. Restack. Now here's a different one for you. Hands down. Now, where you've crossed your legs over, it's the way you always cross your legs over. Let's challenge that. So roll back. Cross the foot over the opposite direction. It will feel weird. Let's try that same stretch. You'll get a different dynamic through those hips on this stretch. Interlaced fingers reach forward. Chin to chest. Just the upper body. Now reach the whole body forward, keeping the bum down. Hands to the floor. Keep them exactly where they are. Drop forward. Changes that stretch, doesn't it? Still keep the breastbone and your belly button as your main kind of driving force towards the floor. Breathing in and breathing out. Try to get a little bit lower. Last breath out. Put the hands. Engage the center. Float the hands up. Reach the hands forward. Reset the vertebrae one at a time. Now lift the hands up to the ceiling. Circle the hands behind you. Take the hands just behind you. Straighten the legs out one at a time. Breathe in. Lift up through. Hold it there. Breath in, breath out. Be careful of those shoulders. Just sit into that stretch if you need to. Lower and roll to the side. Well done, guys. Tuck the toes under. So I'll go side on for you to see. Tuck the toes and just sit back. Little stretch through those toes. If you can put more weight onto them, fine, but don't be crazy. Be nice to those toes. Now rock the weight forward again and then sit back on towards the heels. Now press one heel down towards the floor. You'll feel the nice stretch up that calf. It won't look any different, but you'll feel a nice stretch. And then push the weight across onto the other calf. So again, you haven't moved too much, but you're just feeling a different stretch. Now just level check your feet to hip distance apart. So ease off if you need to kind of move those feet a little bit further apart. Push the weight back onto your heels, and it is a bit different now. So your toes, your feet, or the balls of your feet are hip distance apart. Drop your ankles, your heels, in towards each other. And then push those heels down. And you should get a completely different stretch again. So your toes are out, your heels are touching, and you're pushing down. Should be a nice stretch through the back of that ankle, through that calf. Don't worry if it's too much. Ease the weight forward instead. Now, take the feet back and the heels to hip distance apart. Slide your hands back. Look down to your toes. Look to your belly button if you can. And lift that bottom up to the ceiling. Rock the weight backwards. Toes lifted. And let's start to peel ourselves off the floor. Keep the toes up. Pubic bone pushed forward. Restack the vertebrae. Shoulders back second to last, head up last, and now push those toes back into the floor. Fantastic, guys. Come it up into the middle of your mat if you aren't already. Just center yourself, nice and rested. Let's go for a mermaid stretch with a circle. Soften through the knees, soft. Side stretch, now reach up to the ceiling. Look at the hand. Circle the hand in front of you, let the head follow it, let the breastbone follow it. Breathe in to look at the ceiling. Breathe out to circle and look at the floor. Two more. So you've got soft knees, moving the head and chest, following the arm, breathing out on the way down, breathing in to look up, and just squeeze your bum and stand up. Straight into that second side. Hold it there, just be comfortable here. Soft knees, side bend, hand on the knee for support, breath in. Two more of those. Again, we're exaggerating that breath. Smoothly does it. Really working for that beautiful range in the spine. Lift, breath in, squeeze your bum, stand up. Two shoulder rolls, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Two full arm circles, straight arms. Turn the palms at the top. Circle on the way down. Leave the thumbs on the way up. Turn the palms at the top. Leave the little fingers on the way down. Keep the hands behind you. Interlace. Turn and look over one shoulder. Turn and look over the other shoulder. Reach those hands down. Turn and look again. Turn and look again. Nice and extra. Drop the chin to the chest. Sweep the chin along. 3. Breathe out to roll. Breathe in to look up. 2. 1. Look at the floor. Relax your hands. Press those feet into the floor. Set the center. Squeeze the bum cheeks together. Lift the pelvic floor. And then roll up. Restacking the vertebrae one at a time. Mini roll up of just the neck. Tuck the chin into the chest just for a sec. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, draw that belly button towards your spine and rest. Well done, guys. Fantastic. Excellent.